Oh, good. Right. So, generally speaking, camporees are not just about sleeping in tents. I'll have to let you know. It's about cultural exchange. It's about spiritual infilling. It's about skill learning. It's about proper socialization. And also, it's about personal development. All that was encompassed in this camporee. To God be the glory. Now, when you come on to food, I hear some people mention them eat some stuff what them not normally eat. Some people eat some stuff what them don't know what they say it's veggie, but they don't know what the ingredients are. But they eat anyway, right? Now, did any of you have the opportunity to taste the other cultural foods from the other territories? Everybody know Jamaican and vegetarian food, right? Come on, let's come on. We're sticking with the camera. Come on up the two of you. Talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, the other countries like Mexican, their food was great. Mexico, yeah. Their food was great. We had burgers. We had spinach and rice with eggs or something like that. And all of those stuff. And it was great because.
And hot dog.
Yeah, and we eat hot dog, yeah. And then. And then they made juices like pineapple with dragon fruit and ginger, all of those, and it was great.
Yes, I did, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico and Mexico. That's my favorite country. No. At Puerto Rico, I had hot dog, and at Mexico, I had
All right.
chicken burger. Like, yeah, nothing. We don't want to destroy it, but temple of God, as you readers.
Amen, sister. You may be seated. The camp was set up in zones. You had the international zone, and then you have Jamaica Union. Jamaica Union is made up of 5 different conferences, and we were housed in that regard. In the international zone, you had all the other visiting countries. So you could walk from, on the far end, I remember, was Cuba. And on the other extreme was Cayman. You could walk the entire Caribbean without visa requirements. You had no barriers. And every time they see your colors, they say, Jamaican! You're like, if you didn't know you were Jamaican, that time, you would know. And then you had the US, Canadians, people from Spain, people from Italy, and people from Africa. And Poland.
When I saw the overseas people like Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Canadians, like me and Chloe was walking and they were like, hi Jamaican, and I was like, how do you know I am a Jamaican? And they said like, because of the way you look, and I was like, what? And then sometimes when you're walking, by your look and your clothes, sometimes they will give you money. And I think that's a waste of money. But me love money, so I will take it.
All right. So we are finishing with the setup. So as I said, you could walk from one end to the other and you were welcome. That's one thing with the Adventist and Pathfinder. They are welcoming, even if you do not speak the same language. They just recognize that we are one people and they act accordingly. Believe it or not. Now, we all, as I said, had different experiences. One of the main highlights of the camporee was the cultural exchange. And that's the side I'm going now. Cultural exchange has to do with what they call pin trading. So there were events of the past that they made memorabilia for. And on this table right here is a number of them which are represented. You have from what you consider to be a conference patch, which represents the conference you're a part of. Ours is not on the table right now, but if you look on ours, you'll see ours marks Central Jamaica Conference. Now we have some here from Mexico, some from Dominican Republic, we have from Puerto Rico, we have from Mexico. When we are through here, you can come and view them and you know, get to know some of the cultural looks and pictures that they have used to represent them. They're also what you call pins. Now, pin trading is a high point of the camp. Now, what is pin trading? Just like your conference patches, for every event of this nature, a commemorative pin is done. That commemorative pin, join me please, Ajani and Zachary. That commemorative pin, come Ajani. That commemorative pin is given to all participants. This one here represents Central Jamaica Conference. This is the one that our local conference gave us because we were a part of the event. On this side, this is the one that was given to us by our union, saying thank you for being a part of the event. Then, okay, then there is, oh, here we go. There's this pin, which we got from Inter-America Division. So at the end of the event, you feel so happy to have been there. You take back tokens of their appreciation, and then these said tokens become very invaluable. Now let's show you what happens. Yes. All 13 or 15,000 of us got pins. Now let's look at it this way. How does a pin become invaluable? You have, yeah, you may be seated. You have collector's honor. We do what you call honors. We have honors in arts and craft, honors in missionary, honors in outdoor living, honors in recreational living, honors in needle craft, household and hobbies. Now, pin trading is another hobby craft. What persons do, for example, let's even couple not just pin but also patches. Persons make a vest, or as our kids have on their sash, and their endeavor is to collect. They are collectors. Their endeavor is to collect every last one of these patches that are represented within our division, not just a union. If it was also our Jamaica Union, I would have just 5. But then, hold this on, please. Come back some more. Thank you. Hold it up. Hold it firm. All right. So what they do, they try to collect. They try to collect as many of the regional patches or even the pins. 5 years ago, I went to. Oh, I'm looking for my bag. Yes, go. 5 years ago, the last Camporee was held in Dominican Republic. I had the privilege of going. So don't let these people who have on them fancy stuff fool you. I have mine. I have mine. I have mine. My collection is on my hat. This is just a small part of it anyway. The ones I love and not given to anybody. If you look right here, you see a black turtle. You see that turtle, everybody? That was given to me by a friend in Cayman Islands when I was in Dominican Republic. And as soon as she landed here in Jamaica, she came and said, Taylor here. And I got this spanky brand new stingray. Right. And you know turtles and stingray are the of Cayman. So therefore, it becomes, when someone said to me, you're trading that? Nope. Trading that? Nope. What about this one on the side? Let me pass my hat around. Let me pass my hat around. And then you can take a closer look on everybody else's own. This Mark Jamaica can fetch you $20. We're not doing business in church tonight, but let me tell you. They are collectors. You have persons who are starting Pathfinder museums around the world, and they need artifacts and they need stuff. They will go from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth to collect stuff. So when you come to a camporee and you have that wide cross-section of cultures, everybody's coming with their cultural artifacts and their cultural flavor, and that is the place where you go to collect. Now, Ajani, come here. You tell this church what you did to get this eagle. All right.
So the story was that I saw one of Auntie Julie's pins, a hummingbird that she gave, and I really wanted one because I saw Auntie Daniel with one. So I went to the man and I asked him how much for it, and I misheard him 3 times. 3 times I misheard him. The first one was 10, second one was 20, then the last one was 30, and that was the final price, 30. So I went to Sister Julie and I asked her, and she willingly gave it to me, and I bought the hummingbird and for 30 USD.
Okay, stop right there. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I present you the hummingbird pin, which is a limited edition collection that was produced just for this camporee, and it's a keepsake. It's a dream to collect one, and it's expensive. How much? 30 what? 30 USD, US dollars, all right? All right, continue, John.
Yes, and I saw one of these that I've been searching for the entire camp. Keep in mind that these can fetch you up to $40. Oh, yes. So I found someone from East Jamaica Conference, and we went around the international camp to look for one of these, and we found two gentlemen. One teen that was a little younger than me, at least 3 or 4 years, and an older gentleman, at least upwards of 30 years. And well, my friend was going to trade me when my friend was about to go. I was about to go trade with one of them for a bigger one of these, but my friend said no, and then he took the hummingbird and then traded it for this one, which can fetch you up to 40 USD.
You know, done this, but I'll make him stop. It's all right. No. You hear, oh, detail you had to go, because guess what? Trading is not just exchange like that. You have to be what? You have to be what? No. You don't even need $1. But you have to be smart. You have to know what you want and go at it. For a few of his pins that he traded, he got 3. You're getting 3 for the price of 1. But it depends on what you want to collect. So I come to you, and the Spanish word is cambio. Cambio. Our cambio. And you say like, no cambio. Or cambio. What is it that you have for me? You know, sign language work. Like, yeah, what you giving me? And they said, like my hat, they said, this one? No. That one? No. Or they come and secretly say, cambio? And when you look in your hand, you know, you see what you want, you know, you just smile and you say which one you want, and they say, this. You say, gracias. And take the 2 away, because it adds to your collection. It's not like you're cheating them. It's what it's adding to your personal collection. There's a gentleman right now who's willing to pay me a whole lot of money for my old CJC camping conference batch, and he's in what, Honduras. So it depends on what you want. So Ajani went around, come around, and got what he was looking for. He was looking for what? An eagle. So he was willing, and the Bible said what? When the man found the land, he was so all he got. Trust me. Now, I am going to shake off some of these pins and show you a collection. This is a collector's item. These are all the pins, 8 of them, that represents Peru. The conferences in Peru. Yes. And this is a complete collection. That's a complete collection. So when you go to Camperino, you may be missing one or two. You'd go around looking for persons who have your missing piece. And our kids took to it like duck to water. You know, Jamaicans, anything they want them get. And Sister Chloe, where's Sister Chloe? Sister Chloe got a pin like this one here. And before I knew it, it was gone. She traded it. My kids learn to trade and sell. I see them, I give them a piece of paper with a Jamaica flag on it, and the next day I know them come up with US dollar. Now, why don't you come and tell us how you do that? I would like to be in their shoes.
Okay. First, when we just came the other day, Auntie Julie gave me like three of these, and I came back with at least 10 US dollars. And after I traded two of these for this, and I got this. I got this big patch, and then somebody actually, I think it's a Puerto Rico guy. Me and Ajani was walking, and then we went over their side of tent, and we're there, and we were talking to someone, and then the other guy walked up. Then this guy walked up, literally offering me like $21 for this. And I was like, no. And he keep on adding more money. I was like, no. And then I literally had to run because he literally took out his credit card for this. I was like, no. And the other, like a lady and a guy was standing there, and they were laughing. There. It's a locket.
Show them. No, give it to them.
Okay, and he literally pulled out his credit card for one of these, and he was like, I've been wanting this, would you please trade this for my credit card? And I was like, no. No. And I got this as a present from a Canadian. I got this as a present. Me and Chloe did get one, but she traded, so.
Yeah. Chloe has a knack of trading anything she gets, and then she spends her US dollars. All right, we're not going to spend much more time in this segment. We have another one to go. Come, Ajani. You have anything to say, Hayden? As usual, nothing.
Also, I have an interesting story. So I was in front of Auntie Julie's shop, and a foreign child saw this on my sash and was offering me 1 patch and 4 pins just for this.
Because that's what the person really wanted to finish, add to their collection. Now, in the whole thing of pin trading, you realize that the kids were not shy. They were not embarrassed to go and speak to others, even of foreign language. And that is one thing that it brings out in them, the socialization and their mannerism, because they have to be very proper. And the shrewdness, you see them shrewd? I see these kids spending US dollars, and I'm like, can I get some? Can I get some? What do I have to do to get some? I don't get $1 from one person yet. But I am happy to know that they went, they did enjoy, and they didn't only enjoy the pin trading, they went to the services. Now, Daniel was a part of our support team. I'll invite her now to speak about her experiences and her aspect of the services to you. Here she comes. Well decorated as anyone who went to camp. How can you tell that Daniel went to camp? And she's going to have enough to say to, don't it?
Happy Sabbath, everyone. All right, so I just wanted to share with you some of the activities that happened at Camp RE. The Inter-America Division 5th staging of this camp was, as you heard, held in Jamaica. And on the laundry list of things they had planned for our young people was something that they do at each camp is a selection of a Bible character. And the Bible character for this camp was Gideon. Yes. Last camp it was Ruth. This camp it is Gideon. The story of Gideon. And portraying that each and every night they did a skit, a show, and it was, when I tell you, you're sitting there and it was movie ready. The lip syncing was on point. Everything was pre-recorded and the storyline went. They had songs, theme songs along the lines of the story of Gideon. And each night you had to go to get the next piece. What happened next? They went through the entire story of Gideon for the entire program, and at the end, it all culminated after the war. And, you know, just to see the joy of persons enjoying that story. Children like Chloe, her age, and older persons, senior members, enjoying the story of Gideon being shown and retold in this space. In English, yes. However, the overseas nationals had a device that they would listen to translators translate everything that was happening in our program, and each night they would share that story. It was exciting to hear the song come on and you're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen next. And that also happened for the speaker who spoke with us. He came and each night you wanted to hear what he had to say. And he wasn't one of those speakers who stayed on the pulpit. He came down onto the field. He went up into the crowd. He met each and every contingent from Puerto Rico, Venezuela. He met persons from Honduras, Belize. He walked from one end of the stands to the other end, all the way down to Jamaica, and chatted with each person. Mexico was making noise. Dominican Republic was making noise. And we were all so happy to be so connected with our leaders in mission. One of the stories he told was how he became a Seventh-day Adventist. His background was not like those who grew up in the church. But when he found Christ, he made it his mission to also bring Christ to his family. And over the years, he studied first person in his family that got baptized was his mother. And then after that, once he became a pastor, the first person he baptized was, thank the Lord, his father. And that was rejoicing in his family, rejoicing in heaven, I know for sure. And he just each day were relating to the kids, relating to the adults, relating to each person of each age, you know, telling us that about the problems that we face are not so big for God. They're not big problems to face for God. We just have to bring it to him. Sometimes we're so caught up in our little lives, in our little corner, or, you know, he even talks about relationships and how he even did this where he said, you know, sometimes you're just in a corner like, and I was like, Pastor, wait. And, you know, sometimes you're just full of into people, but you're not realizing the relationship that you're building may not be in connection with God. And, you know, reassessing that and finding your grounding with God. And then he'll present with you, you know, the actual person in your life that is supposed to be there to build you and lift you up. So I really enjoy those evening sermons, and I really enjoy the morning devotion ones as well, that really stood as a wake up, a rejuvenation, a set you back on fire to go through your day, to go to your honors class, to meet other people. That's really where it came down to. And praise God, there were baptisms at camp. Multiple baptisms at camp. It's the record-breaking baptisms at Camp RE, IAD level. Camp RE, Jamaica. We had the most baptized person. And thank the Lord, they had 2 pools. They had 5 to 6 pastors in each pool baptizing pathfinders, master guides, but pathfinders and non-Adventists. in that pool, in their uniforms. In their uniforms. Yes, Sister Rosie.
Pastors were in their uniform, full uniform. The persons baptizing were in their uniforms, and over 120 persons were baptized. So the camporees wasn't just for Adventists, it was pathfinders. And you know, pathfinders are persons who are not Adventists. So you had those people coming from everywhere, and they were baptized. And when you see the adults being baptized, brethren, it meant something to us.
I learned that. I didn't know that you could be a pathfinder.
Yes, you can be a pathfinder without being an Adventist. Pathfindership is a missionary club. It's not just for us here. It is for everyone. The activities that are done in Pathfinder is personal development to build you up for a life that, to be honest, some of the things we do in Pathfinder is what you do at school. And sometimes you do it before you even reach in that grade. And when you get to those classes, you're already knowing how to make projects. You're already knowing how to communicate with people. You're already knowing how to be sociable and public speaking. You see, each and every young person who came up here spoke publicly. Maybe Aiden. But, but you know, it's a work in progress. This platform or this club, I know for a fact, even being in that space, God is in it. And God had put it in that place because I had an experience with my sister late night. We saw buses coming in with persons, but there was one particular bus that was a bit smaller than the rest, and a few persons came up, but they didn't do like everybody else and walk across to their campsite. They sat under a tent. I saw a young man and I said, you know, you want water, agua? He said, sí, ¿cuántos? How much? I said, no. And I gave him 2 bottles of water. He came back thinking I knew how to speak Spanish. The little Spanish I learned in Dominican Republic helped me out a while ago, but I did not know Spanish. So a young lady, a part of their team, also knew a bit of English, and this is how we got talking. Amelie, her name is Amelie from Dominican Republic. And the young man's name is Antonis. They were essentially lost. Now, you're at camp, but you're lost. Because where they were staying was not at the campsite. It was at an Airbnb in Montego Bay. They came through Montego Bay Airport. They flew past their boarding place, and it is 1 o'clock in the morning. We were there trying to communicate with the Airbnb host who is in her bed and have work the next morning. We're trying to find out where can we get a vehicle that will carry them back. They don't know English, but you know, through the night we're trying to find out how we can get them to their place. Worried about them, there were police on the ground, thankfully. We spoke to them as well, you know, let them know the situation. And a couple hours later, they got a drive out, came back, and then the Airbnb host arranged a vehicle for them to come. We prayed about it. They went in the vehicle and they left. Worried I was, but I said, you know, God is with them. The next day I saw them. I was so overjoyed. I said, nothing happened to them, praise the Lord. And I saw them and they were so excited and so full of life. And I'm saying, how can you come here and you're so trusting? You don't hear the news about Jamaica? You don't see Montego Bay is on the news all the time. What's happening there? I was so stressed. But then I'm saying, you know, they've come this far. They may have missed their flight from the day before, but they're here. They have their children and everybody's there and they're just, you know, we're already here. We're here for camp. And I said, I want to have faith like that. And for them to, they came and they're even probably looking at me and saying how thankful they are that we helped them out. I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to connect with them, and I've learned something that will go with me throughout the rest of my life. And that's what camp is all about. That is what camp is all about. There were activities like sports, where you don't know the language, but you know how to run. You don't know the language, but you know how to play football or play netball. And, you know, each country played against each other. There were awards, the honors, as you heard about, they were going on. And, yeah, it was just an experience. Even sitting in my tent, I was telling Sister Rose and hearing the singers sing during their talent pieces or play in their different languages. And I just sat there and it echoed through the hills and it echoed across the camp. this beautiful song that I don't know what they're saying, but I know that they're praising God, and it just sounds amazing. And I can imagine what heaven will be like. So many people from so many places, and imagine we'll be able to understand them. We will be able to understand what they're singing about and connect with what they're singing about as well. So that was really my experience at camp. I even got to be a part of the march part, well, the showing. When I say those young people are so on fire and they're together, let me say them put themselves together, and they came to camp and they knew they had one objective. They did it and they enjoyed the rest of camp. We went there and just had fun. When you go camping, don't take yourself too seriously. Have fun. Having fun and meeting other people. You don't get too, hearty about, boy, the dust bother me, or boy, the sun hot, and yes, you need to drink your water. But if you make that bother you and how your shoes dirty up, you're not going to enjoy camp. Or you cut up your foot, or oh, you get one little dark spot and your house color gone. If you let those things deter your how you not get your shirt till the last day. If you let those things deter you, you won't enjoy the time you're having there. And I am glad to see all our young people here who were able to get that opportunity that many
Mr. Rose, just